Hey guys, today we're going to talk about why some of the new Macs may not be the right choice for your church. So we've talked about ProPresenter 7 before and how everything was then put into one box. You didn't have to have multiple computers anymore to run your live stream and to do all the things like you did with 6. Well, that's great, except now everything has to come off of one computer and you need all your outputs. And in most church scenarios that we're in right now, you probably need a minimum of 3 outputs off of your computer to external monitors. You need one for your main screens, you need one for your confidence monitor so your team can see on stage what they need to see, and you need one for your live stream to get lower thirds over there. That's where we run into a problem. Because on some of these newer Macs, I have one of the brand new M1 MacBook Pros with the M1 Pro chip in it. But the M1 Pro chip only allows you to do 2 external monitors. This is a problem. The M1 Max, if I bought that, it allows up to 4. But the M1 Pro only allows 2. Now, I was running at a previous church, I was running one of the 2019, maybe 2018 Intel MacBooks, and that let me do all of my screens off of it just like I needed to with ProPresenter 7. So I made an upgrade when I moved and I bought this laptop, spent a lot of money on this laptop, and don't get me wrong, I love it. It's super fast for all of my editing, video, audio, all those types of things that I do. It's super fast and it's great. But for this particular use case, it's not the best option. Because to run ProPresenter 7 in the way that I need it to, I can only do 2 screens on this. The same is true for the newer iMacs and also Mac Minis. And the Mac Minis are in a great price point that a lot of you would probably want to use a Mac Mini within your church. But for ProPresenter, there are not enough screen outputs off of that. You can only do 2 off of Mac Mini. One of those is taken by just your main monitor, and then you've only got 1 extra. So right there, you run into a problem. The price point is great, it's fast, it can do a lot, and it would handle ProPresenter fine, but it won't let you do enough screens off of it to get what you need. So that is a problem for most of your church context right now in how you run your systems. There are ways around it. There are ways to fix things and to do that. You can do external GPUs. You can do something like the Blackmagic, what are they called? DeckLink Duos. You can do a DeckLink Duo, but that has to be in a chassis because it's a card that goes in. The price can start to add up on doing that. And for those of you who have used things like the Matrox Dual Head to Go and Triple Head to Go in the past, hold up just a second. I just tried that actually. For this church that I've been helping who just planted a couple weeks ago, they have one of the M1 Pros, and we weren't able to get what we were needing to off of it, and I ran into this problem. So I bought first one of the Triple Head to Go's. I used the DP edition one first. And they've not upgraded the software in a really long time, or the systems that are in that, the firmware. And while Matrox says it should work, I've reached out to their tech support. They say it should work. It does not. And the Triple Head to Go, I use the DP edition. I also returned that to B&H and used the digital edition. Neither one of them worked properly. They were inconsistent. They wouldn't stay connected to the computer. The software is old and outdated, and it wouldn't stay connected properly. So those units, once again, it's a good price point to be able to fix the problem. They are inconsistent and wouldn't stay running. And I couldn't get them to output the screens properly on this newer silicone M1 chip and with the new operating systems. And it doesn't seem that Matrox has any intention of upgrading the firmware or the operating system functionality for the dual head to go or the triple head to go. So that means that because those will not connect properly, those are out as options. Matrox also does make a newer quad head to go that is made with its intention to do video wall type of stuff, but it would work. It's all HDMI. It doesn't have separate software that you have to load on the computer. It's supposed to just be plug in, play, and go. I've not tried that yet, Because of this problem with it, it's $1,200 for that card. The triple head to go was, for the DP edition, was $380. And then plus a little bit of money for some cable adapters to go from DVI to HDMI. To go from about $380 or $320, $330 for the DP edition, for the digital edition, up to $1,200 for the quad, that's a massive jump. Well, if you're gonna spend that kind of money, you could have just bought the MacBook Pro M1 Max. It's overkill to run this, so we're trying to figure out what's the right way to get the screens that we need off of that computer. You'll have the same problem on the iMac, you'll have the same problem on the Mac Mini. The Mac Studio, I think, is okay. Now we have to figure out how to make this work. So probably my next step is to step up and do the DeckLink Duo with a chassis and build that sort of a little system there. But that's probably gonna be about $750, $800, somewhere in that range. As you're building your system, this is something that you're gonna wanna think about. Making sure that as you're building out ProPresenter, how many outputs are you actually going to need? And go ahead and budgeting for the fact that either you need to upgrade your computer to the M1 Max so you can have enough screens, or you need to be prepared to build an external GPU system like with the DeckLink Duo or the Matrox quad head to go, not the triple head, not the dual head. They're older technology, they will not work with your newer systems. If you have found a way to get them to work with your newer systems, please let me know, because I tried both of them and they would not. If you got it working and figured out what you needed to do, hit me up, let me know. I'd love to be wrong on this and I'd love for it to actually work, but in my testing, it has not. You gotta be prepared as you're building your system to have in your budget that extra money, because you do not have enough output screens available at this time. Now, if you do add that system, there is a way that now everything that needs to come off of your computer, whether that be ProPresenter, the multiple screens you have, if you have to connect LightKey with a USB DMX unit, all of that sort of thing, you should be able to do it with one cable to your computer and into the multiple systems if you build the chassis and all that sort of thing correctly. That's for another time, another video, another explanation. Once I do it, I suppose, because I'm gonna have to at this point. Be prepared to have that extra time and that extra money put in as you're building these systems, because the M1 Pro chip will not do what you need it to do. It will not accomplish having enough screens. So now this is something that you're gonna have to build into your system and into your process to think through as you're building your system. I love my M1 Pro. I know I said this earlier. It's super fast. It's a great computer. It was a lot of money, so I was kind of expecting it to do everything that the previous version of the MacBook Pros could have done. We've already talked about that. Frustrating, but it's a great computer. I love editing videos on it. I love editing audio on it. It's snappy, it's fast. It took my export times from 45, 50 minutes on a video to 5 for the same length of an export. So that's pretty top notch. It's a great machine, a great computer. I love what Apple is doing. I'm still an Apple fanboy, but in this particular use case, it doesn't hit the need. And so now we have to figure out ways to work around that. So I hope that was helpful to you as you've been trying to solve this. If you want any help with kind of putting together the system that needs to be put together to make that work for you, whether you have an iMac or a Mac Mini or anything like that, hit me up. You can go to my website and shoot me an email, and I'd love to help you get the right pieces for that so we can get that all working for you. But it is something that we're gonna have to figure out. So hope that was helpful. Do all the things that YouTube tells you to do, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.